Hello, beloved friends. This is Molly with Soul School Spiritual Guidance and Healing, and I'm here with you guys today for a pick-up pile reading. If you guys want to skip the intro, I do want to let you know we have piles 1, 2, and 3 here that are timestamped in the description box below. I am also going to have extended readings for each of these piles, and so you will find the links to those videos also in the description box below, along with the information that you need in order to book a personal reading with me or follow me on social media. So welcome. Like I said, there is going to be a little bit of an introduction to this. You guys know me. I like my introductions. I like my channeled messages. I want to talk to you about the reason for this reading. I haven't settled on a title for this yet. I'm going to try not to scare off too many people with whatever title is attached to this video. But basically, we're going to do a little bit of an ego check today. All right. If you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you know I am not here to tell you your future. I'm here to deliver messages from Spirit about the present energies at hand and how you can make the best use of those energies in order to create your desired future. So a while back, and I apologize that I cannot pinpoint what video this came up in, but a while back I received a really eloquent, beautiful message from Spirit in one of my readings about the ego. I talk a lot on my channel about how I don't want to demonize the ego. It is an essential part of the human experience. It binds us to our perception of time, space in this reality, and it really, really helps us to essentially navigate the spiritual lessons that we came here to learn. So we don't want to suppress the ego. We don't want to demonize it. We don't want to find reasons to not love any part of ourselves, including the ego. And so basically the way I define ego is, in a way, it's the narrative that we tell ourselves about who we are. What are our needs, our desires, our goals? What is it that we deserve? How do we see ourselves in the world? And it's very much tied to the subconscious mind, because a lot of the information that is carried in our own personal narrative about who we are in this world has actually come from social programming. And if we take those parts of the narrative and put them under a microscope, we often find that they are not, in fact, in alignment with our true and authentic selves. So the message that came through, pardon me while I mess with the camera, you know my Virgo placements, they're always at work. The message that came through a while ago was this: our ego is meant to be seen through. Recognize what it is, recognize when it's at work, and just acknowledge it. Say, okay, ego, I see you. I see that this is you driving the chariot right now rather than my higher self. And it gives us an opportunity to sort of take control back from our ego, to allow our higher self to steer us on our course rather than to allow the ego to take over. So that's the message here. The ego is not the bad guy. It's just a member of our team that we need to thoroughly understand and be able to integrate, not because there's anything wrong with any of us, but because we have a myriad of unlocked power, potential, abilities, capabilities that the ego attachments can kind of get in the way of. And so I just want to let you guys know that's the perspective through which I am doing this reading. That's my approach to this reading. There's nothing wrong with any of you guys out there. Totally normal to have an ego. Totally normal to have it play a role in our behaviors, actions, and choices on a daily basis. But the purpose of this reading is to help to identify where the ego is at play, so we can just kind of observe that, so we can understand it, so that we can begin to see through it as we move forward on our journey towards the life that we are all meant to achieve for ourselves here in this incarnation. So like I said, once again, timestamps below. If you guys want to hop to it, this is pile number 1. Pile number 1 is going to be using the Angels and Ancestors Oracle cards along with the Hermetic Tarot. Revelations 2 is going to be using the spell casting oracle cards along with the Revelations Tarot. And then we have here for pile number 3, the Sacred Traveler oracle cards with the Lion Strider Tarot. So whichever one of these piles is calling out to you now, go ahead and click on that timestamp below and I will see you at your reading. Hello friends, and welcome to pile number 1. This is for those of you who chose the Hermetic Tarot with the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck. I am going to go ahead and start off with tarot, and like I said in the intro, my purpose in this reading is to take a peek at in what way is the ego at play? What's the ego up to right now that we may not identify as being something that comes from the ego? All right, so we're going to try to identify it, observe it, just be aware of it, accept it, understand it, and learn to integrate the needs of our ego into the just the understanding that we hold within our higher selves about who our true authentic self is and how we can create the best future for each of ourselves by seeing through the ego and the ways in which the ego often interferes with stepping into our magnificence. We have the Death card there, and this is very, very important. This is Child of the Great Transformers. Absolutely. Okay, you guys, so here's the thing. This Knight of Swords coming in here is, it's a little bit of advice, okay? Spirit is saying that the answer to the issue here is in perceiving something from a new perspective intellectually. All right, so let's get into this and see what's going on. Those of you who are resonating with this pile, you do not feel necessarily like you're going through a period of growth right now. And in fact, Spirit is coming to say that there's this I don't know how to say it. They're showing me, like, do you guys ever walk like past a doorway and your dress gets caught on like the door handle, right? It's that. You're trying to move towards something and there's this piece of you that's kind of getting stuck, that's getting caught up, that's getting hung up, and that has to do with your ego. Your narrative that you tell yourself about who you are and where you're going. Because I really honestly feel like there's something very limiting within that. There's something from the past, like a past version or vision that you had of yourself that is falling away right now. Kitty cat, what's the matter? I love you. Do you want to say hi? Okay, I apologize, you guys. Freddie has just been crying out for attention like since I started recording. You can see him over here in this corner. Let's get back into this. There's some sort of transformation happening. Something that was long-standing in your life and it's beginning to fall away. And the message in the card is that this is a very natural change. This death, it's something that has reached its end. And if you look at it from a particular perspective, you're actually going to see that whatever this is that's coming to an ending is taking off, there he is taking a really, really, really heavy weight off of you at this time. This 10 of Wands, some sort of energetic flow has reached its end point. Okay? I almost feel like it has timed out. It's run out of gas. This is something in your life that is falling away. And Spirit wants to encourage you to see this as being beneficial because this is, like I said, a weight being taken off of your shoulder. It's a dissipation of some energy that was really taking up a little too much of your attention, and now you have the opportunity to just put it down and walk away and walk towards something else. Walk towards a cycle of growth. However, the problem is this cycle of growth is what you're kind of getting caught up on. Like you're having a hard time passing through that doorway, so to speak. And the reason is you're holding on way too tight to something that you view as a loss in this situation, all right? And so what Spirit's coming in to say in this particular reading is that this is your ego at play. This is simply your ego telling you that this is a loss, okay? Whatever is falling away right now is for your best good. But I feel like it's prompting you to change the way you see yourself, to change the narrative that you've been telling yourself about where it is you're heading, what it is that you need, what are your goals, etc., etc., etc. Okay? And let me go ahead and just try to focus in on an example. Let's say that that you've lost a job. Okay, this is just an example because there's definitely some loss here. There's a lot, this Seven of Wands is like stubbornness, trying to hold on to something, all right? And it's the image of yourself that was caught up in that job. Ever since you were younger, you told yourself, when I grow up, I'm going to X, Y, Z. All right? Whatever is falling away was attached to either X, Y, or Z. And Spirit's trying to say, hey, don't look at the dreams that you wrote for yourself, the narrative, the script that you wrote for yourself when you were a child, or even a younger adult, or even slightly younger than who you are right now. All right? Take stock of who you are in this moment. What really are your dreams and goals and wishes and needs? And is this thing that's falling away, is it actually in alignment with who you are now and who it is that you wish to become? Or is it something that you had your heart set on at one point in time because it fit into alignment with the image of yourself that you wanted to create? Okay, because Spirit is trying to say that, like, look, it's helping you out that this thing is falling away. Maybe it's a relationship that you always thought that you would be in. Maybe it's the town that you thought you were going to spend the rest of your life in. Maybe it's the career that you thought that you were creating for yourself. But once again, something is falling away. And the purpose of this, you guys, is to allow new growth in. And that's scary when we don't always know what direction that new growth is taking us in. But Spirit is definitely very clearly saying that what is needed now is a shift in perspective, all right? Because this is going away, whether you like it or not. This Death card means the natural ending of a cycle. This period of growth, let me show you this. This Empress card, oh my gosh, it's about abundance and fertility and creativity and just creating so much goodness. There's a lot of emotional healing that is kind of bound up in this energy as well. A lot of balance with those scales up top right there in the Empress card, okay? So this is where Spirit's trying to bring you. But there's something that you're holding on to that you don't want to let go of. It's something very, very sad. But whatever it is, Spirit's asking you to look at the ways in which your narrative of who you are in the world has been attached to this particular situation or scenario, and how your view of who you are in the world might just need updating, baby dolls. That's what Spirit's saying right now, all right? So this Knight of Swords, to me, actually, now that I'm holding this card, it feels a little bit like a fact-finding mission, okay? Like there's information out there that's going to help make this click, all right? Stop focusing on what's falling away and begin to think about what direction you might move forward in. Remember, any experience that we've had in the past is essential to the us that we're trying to build in the future, the us that we're trying to become, the me, the you, etc., etc. All right? So there's something that happened in this situation that's falling away that gave you some expertise, experience, or information that you may not see as essential to the next step in your process of growth, of flourishing, of evolving, of growing. But there's some sort of information available to you. I'm going to put the Empress over here as a reminder. The Queen of Pentacles, your self-worth. Your self-worth. Oh my gosh, this is really beautiful. Okay, all right. You guys, check this out. This Seven of Cups came up here. I know it's a black and white deck and it helps you when I lift them up, but you guys have to understand the cards are flying everywhere. We have another queen here. We have a Queen of Pentacles and a Queen of Cups, which are two of the four elements which make up the Empress. okay? The Queen of Pentacles is all about your self-worth. Do you know that whatever this thing is that's falling away, you're better than it? I don't know how else to say it. You deserve more. You may not realize that you deserve more, but this Seven of Cups showing up as the Lord of illusionary success. Okay? Whatever situation is falling away right now, it made you feel good simply because it was in alignment with your narrative, your story of who you are, of what success is. You know how much that gets handed to us by society? Right? We get handed this story of what it is that's going to make us happy, and we say, you know what? That's what I want. That's what I'm going to go towards. And then you get 10 steps in that direction, and you realize that is not in alignment with your authentic self, with your authentic truth. So there's some sort of illusion that was being created by you being involved in this situation. That's not to say it wasn't true and authentic and in alignment at some point in your life, but what's happening is you're beginning to see through this situation. Okay? If this situation had stuck around for any longer, it would begin to be a detriment to you. And in fact, if you keep trying to hold on to it, Spirit's going to come smack it out of your hand. That's what this blasted tower reverse kind of means to me. The tower is often about divine intervention. Okay? And this Queen of Cups, I really love what she has come to represent, what she's showing up here to represent, okay? Because she does point back to the Five of Cups. Whatever it is that you feel you're losing at this time, go ahead and mourn that. Go ahead and accept the feelings of loss that you feel, and don't judge yourself for that. That's completely normal. Whenever we have the Death card show up, something has passed away, and it's okay to mourn that. Okay, don't get mad at yourself for the feelings that you're feeling right now, all right? But also pay close attention to what are your emotional needs and desires at this time. What is truly going to fulfill you? Because I get the feeling that whatever this was something that was handed to you by society. Like, hey, if you grow up and do X, Y, Z, you're going to be happy. And you're getting to this point in your life where you're beginning to realize that, you know what, maybe it's LMNOP that's going to make you happy. Maybe it's CDEF. Maybe it's some whole other letters from a different alphabet we've never heard of before. But this is an opportunity for introspection, for you to go within, look at what are your basic needs, but also what are your emotional needs. We cannot abandon those at this time, all right? Something about this was not meeting your need, and definitely not your need for growth at this time. I often talk about the metaphor of a plant that needs to be repotted because the pot that it's in does not allow it to grow, and that's essentially what this Death card is signifying here. That this is an environment in which you have achieved all of the growth that you can, and now you've got to be able to let it go. Don't take it personally. Don't take it as a failure. Just understand that Spirit is trying to bring you in alignment with a newer version of yourself, a newer narrative of who you are, what it is that you desire, and what you hope to accomplish, the life that you hope to create for yourself at this time. So, you guys, this is what I got. I'm going to get some more advice from Spirit with the Angels and Ancestors Oracle card over in the extended reading. And so if you guys are interested in that, definitely click on the link below. And feel free to take a peek at one or more piles, depending on what you are drawn to at the beginning of this reading. But most of all, I just want to thank you guys so much for being here with me today. If I don't see you at the extended reading, I do hope to catch you back on my channel again soon. Take care. Hello friends who chose pile number 2, welcome. This is your reading. We are going to be starting off with the Revelations Tarot by Zach Wan. Wang. And then in the extended, which is linked to in the description box below, we're going to pull out these spell casting oracle cards for some insight from Spirit on how to move forward. Like I said in the introduction, the purpose of this video is to do a little bit of an ego check. It's okay, you guys. Don't feel bad for having an ego. We all have one. It is a necessary part of this experience and incarnation. And the best thing that we can do is just be aware of it when it's acting up. And so that is what this reading is meant to do for you guys today. Let me go ahead and I just kind of want to get that out of my way, clear my space. Thank you guys so much for being here. There is a lot of purple and blue in the cards that are showing themselves to me, and I noticed that there's a lot of reversals. So I really want to say that there is a blocked, what do I want to say, third eye chakra at work here. Third eye and crown chakra possibly blocked. This deck has some really, really interesting energy in it, so I'm going to try to pull that out. And thank you, divine spirits of love and light, archangels, ancestors, allies, and guides for coming into this space today and helping me to create this message for my pile number 2. All right, so how do we need to be aware of the ego and what it is up to at this time? There's something new, you guys, something new in your life. Oof, let's do that. All right, you guys, I said something new. You see what that is? That's the Fool. Okay, the last reading that I did, the last pile, was about something that was fading away, something that was coming to an end. This is about something that feels like a really good idea, but do you see how it flipped out kind of to the side like that? Spirit's saying, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. Let's go ahead and unpack this. This Fool is starting off on a new adventure, and okay, this is the story I'm getting, you guys, all right? The reasons you think that you're undertaking this adventure are not the real reason you're undertaking this adventure, all right? You think you're doing this for a certain reason, but if you really take a peek at your motivations, I think that some of them are very much based in ego, all right? And like I said before, ego is not a bad thing to have. Ego is simply that narrative about ourselves that we carry around. It's often informed by social norms. And so it's often not in alignment with our higher self. So how can we begin to become aware of the ego and the way that it shows up in our life? That's what's going on right now. Spirit is saying, why are you really, really, really going on this adventure? What's really at the root of it? I want to talk a lot about that baby. That if you really stop and look at the reasons why you're going down this particular path, it has something to do with security. But I also feel like there's a little bit of codependency going on there. This is something that formed in childhood. It's not your fault that things are this way. But you can begin, like I said, to see through it and grow past it, all right? Let's get some more information because that baby is really important. We got the Sun and the Devil. There's more babies. More babies, and these are all major arcana. This is some truth that you're hiding from yourself. This is exactly what I said before. You are not being honest with yourself about the reason why you're pursuing a particular path or adventure. There's definitely some ego at play here because that's what this Devil represents. The Five of Pentacles. It's about it's about security. There's a sense of insecurity that's driving you down this path. Now, let me tell you what the Sun upright means here. This is a healthy, balanced ego. This is the solar plexus wide open, confident, courageous, ready to go, ready to see things as they truly are. But this is also self-love, self-knowledge, self-awareness, self-acceptance. Okay? And it's really interesting now because I look at this particular orb in the sky and I feel like it's the moon. That's sort of the opposite of the sun in tarot, because when the sun shows up, it means that our path is well lit. We see things for the way that they really are. But in the moonlight, I don't know, things look a little shady. They don't always appear as they really are. This is a lack of security that's driving you towards this. And just the fact that the devil is sitting in front of a stack of money almost makes me feel that it might be financial security that is motivating you to go down this particular path or to take on this most recent venture. Whatever it is, look at your real motivations for doing this. Okay? Let's see what else I can get out. That devil is so smug. That devil is like, ooh, I got pile 2 right where I want them. I got them feeling insecure. I got them feeling like they can't do this on their own. I got them feeling like they need to go down this path, even though it's not what's best for them. And you guys, there's no shame in that. There's no shame and there's no judgment, right? You gotta do what you gotta do to survive in this world. This King of Wands is asking you, though, to make sure that your actions are in alignment with your intentions. These kind of spilled out sideways. How do I want to take those? All right. Like this. The World is reversed. The Two of Wands is reversed. The Four of Swords is reversed. Spirit's saying, don't go down this path until you finish up the one that you're on. But the one that you're on feels very hopeless. There's some sort of cycle that needs to be closed out. And when this cycle is closed out, you're going to see yourself in a completely different way. Like I said, it's an ego shift. You're going to see yourself in a very, very different way. And once that change, that shift has taken place, new paths are going to open up to you that are very much in alignment with who you are, with your true self, rather than the ego, which is our perceived self. Okay? I feel like there's a lot of concern and a lot of worry on your mind about what's going to happen if you don't go down this path. And Spirit is saying, you know what? This path is open to you now simply as a product of the thinking, the mindset that you're in, that you are not good enough, that you don't have enough. But security is definitely at the root of all of this. Okay, once you close out this pattern, you get this shift in perspective, new paths are going to open up to you, and it's not going to feel so desperate. You see this Wheel of Fortune reversed. Yeah. But the World and the Wheel of Fortune both appearing reversed lets me know that the reason why this is a temptation for you, going down whatever path has opened up in front of you. The reason why this is a temptation for you is because there is this lesson that's been placed in your path that you have not yet learned. Let's see what more we can find out about that, Spirit. Six of Wands reversed is very much a card that has to do with how we see ourselves. Five of Cups reversed. There's something that happened in the past that you're seeing as a loss, as a failure. You're taking it personally. You're seeing it as, I have failed. I am not good enough. The reason this thing didn't work out is all because of me. And that's why this path seems so appealing to you right now. Because you got something in your mind. Something happened in the past that made you feel like a loser. And you haven't gotten over that yet. Yep, it needs to be healed. Self-love, babes. That's what really this reading is calling for. Let's see what else wants to come out of here. This whatever happened in the past that made you feel like it was a failure, like it was a lack of success, that is what needs healed. It's calling for healing right now. And only after it is healed, Oh, can you step into this Nine of Cups? You're going to understand that you have everything you need, that you already are everything that you need in order to achieve whatever goal you're setting out to achieve at this point in time. Okay? But Spirit's trying to say, hey, do you want to maybe just take a second to double check your motivations for the path that you're getting ready to go down, or maybe that you've just stepped onto? Because this is something new. This might be a contract that's been offered. It might be a relationship opportunity that you know it's not going to be the best for you. But there's something driving you towards it because you have this sense of failure. This sense of not being good enough. Because of something that happened in the past. And Spirit is asking you to heal that. The best way that I can recommend this right now is through a sort of soul retrieval. You can do this in meditation. You can pull up on YouTube. There's guided meditations. And the good ones, in my mind, ask you to focus on the feeling, not necessarily on an event. If you can pinpoint the event, the thing that happened in the past that is at the root of all of this, the thing that needs healed, then go ahead and go straight to that moment, right? But in a soul retrieval, what you're doing is you're essentially creating an out-of-body experience in which you can go back on your timeline to yourself in this moment, okay? And you can say to them, hey, you know what? It's okay. You did the very best you could in that situation. Don't take it personally. Don't take this failure as a reflection of yourself. Don't even see it as a failure. Just understand that you were doing the best you could. And after you have that conversation with your past self, bring them forward with you on your journey. Okay? But what I was trying to say about the best types of soul retrieval meditations, guided meditations, are the ones that ask you to focus on the feeling of not being good enough, the feeling of failure, because oftentimes the one event that you're thinking of that you want to trace this back to, this feeling back to, probably was not the first time you felt that feeling. Okay? So I'll do my best to make a note to give you guys a link to a soul retrieval down below. But basically this is timeline healing is what it is. There's some past version of you that is still very much feeling the pain of this past failure. And because of this pain, whatever influence this had on your narrative, on your sense of self, your sense of who you are in the world, this pain is what's making it feel kind of attractive to go down a path that might not be the best for you. So that's essentially what Spirit's asking you to do right now. Heal the past so that you can make better decisions moving forward. They want to remind me of this quote I used to have hanging up in my classroom that said, we make better decisions when we're coming from a place of self-love. Okay? So there's a distortion in your ego that's telling you that you're not good enough. And there's this moment in the past that it's pointing back to, saying, remember that? Remember when that happened? That's the reason why. Okay? So there's some point in your past that needs healing. Hit me up, you guys. We can go into this within a reading and really pinpoint what are the mechanisms at work that are making it seem appealing for you to go down this path that's not going to be the best for you. Okay? So if you want to dig into that, what are the distortions within your ego that are at play right now? We can do that. But look at this. Reverse. Nine of Cups. That's wish fulfillment. We get this all healed up and you're golden. You're beautiful. You've got paths opening up in front of you that are exactly the right thing. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and dig into this a little deeper over on the extended reading. Those are lower prices than typically I set for my extended readings because it's a little bit shorter than the typical extended reading. But I do hope to see you guys over there on Vimeo. The link to that is in the description box below. And if I do not then I certainly hope to catch you back on my channel again soon. Thank you for being here. Thank you for likes, comments, subscribes, shares, however it is that you're supporting the channel. Please understand that I do appreciate that more than you know. Take care, guys. I'll see you again soon. Hello friends, and welcome to your reading. If you chose pile number 3, this is the Line Strider Tarot and the Sacred Traveler Oracle cards. I'm going to get to those in the extended reading. The extendeds are shorter, so they're cheaper, but if you guys are interested in that, you can purchase all 3 if you guys want to check out more than one of the messages that came through today. And most of all, I just want to say thanks for being here, you guys. I mean, like, how awesome are you that you're willing to, you know, call out your ego and see what it's up to right now. It's not an easy process, but man, is it rewarding. Thank you guys for being here today. Let's go ahead and take a peek at the message that Spirit has for you as far as how ego might just kind of be interfering with your ability to create the reality that you desire at this time. What are you? The 8 of Swords. There's something you're not seeing. Let's go ahead, and I feel like I want 2 more shuffles and then we'll get some more out. Okay, so your ego is keeping you from seeing something that is right in front of you. And I have to tell you the truth. Let me put this down and zoom in on this card. We do have the Star. I love this, you guys, because this is like the most hopeful card in the entire deck, okay? There's, this is beautiful. There's reason to have faith, all right? But let's take a peek at this. What's going on at the bottom of this card? Because at the top of the card, we have somebody who's blindfolded. That is a very typical symbol for the 8 of Swords. But what's going on down here, to me, was looking like a pile of snakes. All right? So something in your ego, something in your narrative, your story that you tell yourself about who you are, that is keeping you from seeing something that might be kind of dangerous to you at this time. Let me get a sip of my iced coffee and we'll get into this. I do want to pull out the Star because she's important. She's going to sit over here and kind of keep an eye over this reading. And let's see what else we can find out about this situation. Spirits of divine spirits of love and light, archangels, ancestors, allies, and guides. They really want me to keep shuffling, you guys, but the Star is definitely a part of our reading. Let's see what else comes out. Thanks for your patience. You guys always know you can double tap the screen to fast forward 10 seconds if you're on a mobile device. Let's talk about this 8 of Swords, please. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah, I almost feel like it has to do with somebody that you're dealing with. Yeah, we got the 3 of Cups and the 3 of Pentacles on the reverse here. There's somebody that you're dealing with that's not the best for you, but the reason why you're drawn to them is because they fit into your image of yourself and who you are in the world, all right? Let's see what comes out. I do feel like you're the Queen of Cups. We have a Wheel of Fortune, a Knight of Wands, and a Wheel of Fortune. Interesting. Whatever this situation is, there's definitely a lesson to be learned from it. This Star is about your own personal evolution. Okay, let's get a little bit more information on this, Spirit. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, this Knight of Wands is a character that is not who they seem. And we have the Lovers card coming out and the 2 of Swords reversed. Now, the 2 of Swords is another one of those cards that comes with the blindfold. And when it's reversed, that means the blindfold comes off. Ooh, there is an Ace of Cups. So potential new love on the horizon. But let's see what is going on with this. 6 of Cups, the Hierophant, Strength, and the Lovers. Wow. The 6 of Cups, the Hierophant, both of these, I'm just going to let you know, with the Wheel of Fortune and the Lovers, this could be a soulmate. This could be a soulmate related situation here. Okay? But what is it that you're not seeing? Oh, for some of you guys, this situation is not a snake. but it's a snake. You're imagining it as a snake, okay? You've got your eyes closed to this situation because these are all very positive cards, okay? You have your eyes closed to this situation, and the reason why, I feel like it's an opportunity for love, to be perfectly honest. If it's not romantic love, it's a very solid friendship. It's somebody that I believe you have some sort of soul contract with, meaning they're coming into your life for a reason, okay? This is something that is in alignment with you, but you've got your eyes closed, and what you're imagining is snakes. It's almost like you don't want to trust this opportunity that's in front of you. And your ego is somehow tied up in that. And ego's not a bad thing, you guys. We all have an ego. And it plays an active role in all of our lives, but we don't always understand how, and that's what we're here for. Okay? I'm just going to stare at these cards for a while and see what they tell me. Yeah, this is a beautiful, this Ace of Cups, it's almost as if, see this Queen of Cups I'm seeing as you, all right? And if you look at the cup that she's holding, it's got a lid on it. For some of you guys, in fact, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. The main narrative, the main message that I'm getting here is this is an opportunity for love that is sitting right in front of you, and you're not seeing it as being good for you because you have these snakes in your mind, so to speak, okay? You have this, oh my gosh, how do I express this? Because I can feel it. I can feel the attitude. The attitude is almost that to make yourself vulnerable right now would be a weakness. But look at this baby doll. Look at there's a King of Cups underneath that, letting the fish out of the bowl. You guys, this is something very beautiful in front of you, but you're stuck. You're stuck because you have these illusions. Oh my God, you have these illusions. Look at this, a freaking soulmate, you guys. There's an opportunity for love in front of you, but you've been writing yourself a narrative that excludes that possibility. For some of you, this is like, ooh, I'm strong and independent. I don't need anybody. But would you let somebody in? Would you let somebody in? Sorry for my silence, you guys. I'm really trying to commiserate with these cards. I'm just really listening to them right now. Okay? Because that's what I really think is doing. I think what is really, really happening. You have the opportunity to take off this blindfold, to see this situation as what it is. It is a catalyst. That's what this Knight of Wands is for. It is a catalyst. It's not, the situation is not as it appears. It appears like something that you need to shield yourself from, something that you need to guard yourself from. But the thing is, you're not looking directly at this situation when you make that decision. You're looking at things that happened in the past. Okay? Now, let's talk about those things that happened in the past and how they have made an impression on your ego. It has a lot to do with vulnerability. You've made yourself vulnerable in the past, and it didn't work out for you, right? And so now you've got your blindfold on. You're like, I'm not going to fall in love. I'm not going to let myself be vulnerable. I'm not going to let somebody in. But the thing is, those situations in the past that weren't good for you, they were there to teach you lessons. They're there to teach you lessons. And I really feel just the way that these cards are working together is that you've been through all the lessons that you need in this area. Spirit's really trying to deliver the real thing. But you've written yourself into this narrative where you don't need this, where this is a weakness. Or where this is something that's not to be trusted. This opportunity for love. Okay? The message that's coming through here at the bottom is saying, you know what? Stop and look at the lessons that you've learned from those situations in the past and understand that you are so much stronger than you used to be. You know yourself so much more now than you used to. And so you have to go ahead and look at this with a new set of eyes, with who you are now, rather than the story you've been telling yourself about the past. Okay? This is really beautiful, you guys. For both of my past couple of readings, they've been like kind of like, hey, red flags, red flags, red flags, red flags. This is red flags that are covering your eyes. You need to pull that off because those belong to you and not to the situation in front of you. Okay? So Spirit is saying, you got to learn to get this blindfold off. What is it that's keeping this blindfold on? Well, I love this deck, by the way. Judgment. Oh my God, I've never seen a judgment card like that before. And the 10 of Swords. Yeah, whatever you went through in the past, oof, it stuck a bunch of swords in your back. And you stood up and you said, never again. Never again. That's what the Judgment card is. Because whatever happened in the past, oof, it did a number on you, babes. It did a real number on you. And Spirit's just saying that was the lesson. That was the lesson. There was a lesson that was meant to be learned, and I really feel like you learned it. Because you made a judgment call. Okay? But I feel like this is you saying never again. Here's the issue. When I said I've never seen a judgment card like this, why is he wearing a mask? Is that really how you feel? Do you really, really feel like you never want to fall in love again? Or is that a mask that you put on to say, I will not be taken advantage of. I will not be taken for granted. I will not allow my vulnerabilities to be exploited. Okay? It's almost like you made this decision as a way to be able to just put on a mask, put on a happy face, say, you know what, I'm healed, I'm over it, I'm just moving on, I'm never gonna fall in love again. Okay? That's what I'm feeling here. It feels very specific. But that's exactly the message that I'm getting. We have an Ace of Cups, Two of Cups, Six of Cups, Hierophant, and the Lovers, and the Wheel of Fortune, you guys. Judgment and the Star. This is the universe saying, hey, we're not effing around this time. Whatever happened to you in the past that really did a number on you, that was a lesson that you were meant to learn. Now that the lesson has been learned, you're different. And you've got to be able to see yourself as being wiser and stronger and more, how do I say this? More aware of the kind of love that is in alignment with you. Because we have a Queen of Cups and a King of Cups. Okay, this is a beautiful opportunity to relate to another person. And you're afraid to do it because of what you've been through in the past. But Spirit is saying, you know what, this situation wants to bring in a lot of healing. You've just got to be able to stop and say, you know what, I learned my lessons. I can see this as being different than whatever I've dealt with in the past. What are you? What do you want to come out? The Eight of Pentacles reversed. Yeah. It just feels like work. To you, it just feels like work. To open up and let somebody in. Because here's the thing. Part of what allows relationships to do a number on us is if we're not enforcing boundaries, if we're not speaking our mind, if we don't have a realistic understanding of our own needs and wants and acceptance that not everybody can provide us with those things. Okay? So the wisdom that you have now is about where boundaries need to go in relationships, what you need to speak up for, what you need to tolerate and not tolerate. It does seem like a lot of work, but this is you putting to use the things that you have learned in the past. Okay? You've been doing a lot of work on yourself. And Spirit is saying, it's time to take the blindfold off. What is this? 10 of Pentacles. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. You have an opportunity for a long-lasting, stable, secure relationship with another person. It could be family, it could be friends, it could be romantic. Okay, but something happened to you in the past and your ego has decided to not allow something like this in. And Spirit's saying, take off that blindfold, babe. Take another look at it, because there might be something that you want to let in. All right, let's pull from the Sacred Traveler cards in the extended reading. The link to that is down below. If I don't see you there, I do hope to catch you guys back on my channel again soon.